Other than the aquarium, I have my filter here, Continuum Aquatics Basis Power Cleanse XL. The basic one, this is the basic one that everyone needs, so I'm gonna tell you that all you need is actually the solid itself. So these are the rocks that I bring back. This is lava rock. You can use any rocks that you can get on your hand on, but you can also, if you want, you can also get some rocks from the riverside. Well, aquascaping, there's a lot of, the design is very variant. You can use wood or anything, but this one I'm going to use rocks. I'm going to teach you guys to use rocks because I think this is the easiest one, and I think most people should be able to do it. So when you're choosing a rock, make sure that you get the same rock. Because the key to having a nice looking aquascape is to make it natural, because we are actually, the whole purpose of having an aquascape tank is to capture the natural environment and put in the aquarium. So if you choose multiple type of different rocks, it will look very artificial, because in nature you don't find multiple different type of mountainscape near to each other. They are always they're always further apart if they're different type of rocks or mountain. For this, I'm going to be using this type of lava rocks from the same batch. And another key to note for is that try not to buy those that are too small, or try not to get everything that's too small, because when the plants grow, it might cover your rocks and you might can't even see it. So get decent size one, because if you're going to use a rock, make sure that you can see it later on. And also to begin, when you go to the shop, you might see a lot of rocks and you might not know which one to begin with. You can begin with choosing the type that you want. You can go for the arborite, or the let's say for this is lava rock. You choose for the one that you that can go, of course, can go into aquarium, and the one that you like the most. Get the first one first, the most interesting one first. For me is that it is sharp ones over here. Then after that, you can go to the second one or the third one. Try to get them to be different in size or the shapes as well. This is because we don't want to make things symmetrical in a natural environment. It's very rarely that things happen to be symmetrical. It will be variable and natural. So I have a bit different sizes over here, and of course you can see that I have more than I need. This is one of the rock already cover like a big chunk of the aquarium. So it doesn't need to get that much. Most likely I'm not going to use like 2 rocks only, but I get 4 or 5. For you can just like get 1 more. So because things doesn't always go to plans, and if something went wrong, it doesn't go well as you imagine it, at least you have an option to change it. So now, yeah, we're gonna start by introducing the rocks into the tank. I'm gonna start with the one that I like the most first, and then we will move from there. So the easiest way to escape is to have the interesting rocks that you choose at the side, not in the center. You can do it in the center, but for the easiest way to start, let's say if you doesn't know anything, the easiest one is to put it at the side, like so. And then you would want another smaller one. Let's say I would call this a key rocks, and then there's the rocks that follow key rocks that enhance it, so that that one will bring out this one more on the side here. So the whole thing will be at an angle. It can be either on this side or the other side. It depends on the shapes of the rock. So if I put it here, it doesn't go well with the tank because this rock's in the angle. Unless if I turn it, I'll be able to make it work. But then this won't be a key rock. This will be the secondary rocks because it's so small. So, but for here, I'm going to try to put it over here first for this purpose. So yeah, now we ended up with something like this. I'm able to use the rocks that I like, and the following rock is a smaller one over here, and I also added a small one over here to make it more balanced. Actually, you don't need this, it will still look nice. You can only need these two. And as you can see, just now I tried to experiment with different rocks, but it doesn't work, mainly because the other two, the sizes is too similar to this. It will take away the attraction of these big rocks, and everything will look too crowded and as well. So this is these two just look just nice together. And we put it in the angle that's not too elaborate. We try to make it a bit natural. So this one, if you look at from the top, you can see I leave some space at the back here, because remember, this is a planter tank, this is not a rock tank. You have to have plants behind it, and if the space is too narrow, the plants might not grow as well. So I leave some space there, and you want to leave more space at the front, because the foreground plants, it doesn't look too nice if it's too thin, because they only grow in here, whereas the background plants, when they grow tall, they can bush out and you can see a bundle of them. So this is basically it. Let me go through this again. You choose your key rocks, a big one over here that you like. Get another one that's smaller on the sides. So you can do it on this side or the left side, depending on your preference, and also the shapes of the rocks as well. So yeah, try to make it not symmetrical. This is like a bit on the side over here, so everything have a sloping down angle like so. You can see something like this. So now that the hardscaping are done, it's time to add in the water and let the filter run. But unfortunately, I really run out of time. I really need to get to the shop now. So I'm gonna do this later on when I come back. Yeah, I'm not sure when. I just came back from work and I thought of just let the water running first before the end of today. It's 11 now, maybe I can finish it today and let the water run and get the process went through faster. So now we're going to add the water in. The trick is like, try to not disturb the soil too much. Make it, try to introduce the water in as softly as possible. If you're using a hose, maybe you have to use something to like, you can use a plastic bag and wrap at the end of the hose, and then poke a few holes inside there and let the water drop inside there by itself. But since it's a small aquarium, I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to pour the water in myself. But I'm going to use a piece of plastic bag to just cover the bottom here, so make it easier for me to pour the water in without disturbing the substrate. So get marks so that everything will be easier. If you have fish in your aquarium, always dose the anti-aquarium first. Well, this is an empty tank, so it doesn't need to do that. So we just pour the water inside there first. Here we go. Just try to do this as slowly as possible. Make sure that not to disturb the substrate that much. And also initially you have to do it very slowly, because some of the soil are not that moist, and if you do it too much, there might be air trapped inside there and they might float up. So you have to do it slowly, make sure the soil have time to absorb all the water inside. But if you are using the Seacham fluoride, it'll be a bit easier, but you have to clean the fluoride really well before using it, because I tried not cleaning them and it all turned out very terribly. So you have to make sure if you're using fluoride, you have to make sure you clean it very well before using it. So now the water is starting to fill the bottom of the soil over here. I give it some time and before I add another mark inside there. Here we go. If you have a ladder or some thing that taller than the aquarium, you can also try to add the water in by using siphon method, which you siphon the bucket water that's higher from the aquarium to the aquarium itself. That's also a simpler way to do it. But since I don't have that, and this is a quite small aquarium, I don't think there's any need to use the siphon method at all. And when the water level get higher, you can just pour it in faster. You can also use your hands to like break the water bit or enter to the aquarium. So I have filled up the aquarium with water. I was planning to do a partial, like maybe 70 or 80% water change before adding in the filtration and let the water run. But this my camera battery is running out. So which means we are going to just run the aquarium with the filter and do the water change later on. So now what you need to do is to figure out the volume of the aquarium, how much water the aquarium hold. It's pretty easy to measure it. You just need to get the length of the aquarium in centimeter. For this is 35 cm, and the width of it is 21 cm, and the height is 24 cm. And then you're gonna multiply them. So like this one over here will be multiply the 35 by 21, and the height I mean, which is the water level, not the height of the aquarium, was the 24, and then you divide it by 1000, you get liters. So for this aquarium it's around 17 or 18 liter. So with that out of the way, it's easier for us to know how much of the chemical that we need to dose. So the first thing we have to do now is to install the filter first. So I'll introduce the filter that I'm going to use. This is the CCHEM Tidal 35. It's a 500 liter per hour filter. It comes with a surface skimmer. So this aquarium doesn't need a filter that's this big inside and this expensive, but it's good to have a larger filter, more capable filter, because the filter is actually the most important part of any aquarium. They circulate the water, they filter the water, and they also provide the oxygen for the water. If this is a human body, it will play the role of your kidney, your heart, and also your lung. So it's pretty important. So it's good to put some budget onto your filter system. You can either go for, if this is not your taste, you can go for like maybe the Fluval C2 or C3. C2 should be enough. The U series, the submersible Fluval, might be not suitable for this aquarium because it takes some space in the aquarium, and this is not a big tank, so we want to save all the space for the inhabitant inside the aquarium. Or you can also go for a canister filter. I believe CCHEM will have a small canister filter which is good enough for this size. You can consider that one out as well, but that one is way more expensive. The Fluval C series is the more affordable one, is somewhere around 120 or something like that. It's a bit more expensive. This one is 265, but this is a very capable filtrations, and there's several advantages comparing to the C series. One thing, this is a bucket filter system, like so. So you can basically choose whatever you want to put inside here as long as it fits. Whereas the C series Fluval filter, there's a few compartments that have to use their proprietary filter media, and you don't have much option there, and sometimes it can be hard to find. The replacement part can be hard to find. So this is more flexible. It houses more bacteria, and also it houses more filter media. And also this one does have a built-in surface skimmer, which is a plus, not necessary thing. This one have a design with the unusual hammer filter design with the pump in the aquarium. The advantages is that it will start itself as long as the as long as there's water in the tank. Whereas if you use a more conventional approach, hang-on filter, where the pump is at the external of the filter, it won't start if there's no water in your filter box. So which means you have to like pour water into the filter box, fill up before the pump can start. And if something went on, the electricity stop, and then maybe use forward guard to top up your water for some time, and the water is drained out from the aquarium, and when the power comes back, the pump might not run, overheat and die. So it came with a sponge and some C-Chem matrix. I'm going to try to do some adjustment here to fit more filter media inside here. So I have got the filter media ready for the aquarium. I'm going to add a layer of white cotton on top of the sponge over here to have a better mechanical filtrations. Mechanical filter is supposed to block up any solid debris in your aquarium. So in order to have a proper working filtration system, your filter should house 3 types of filter media. One is a mechanical one where they block any solid debris, so you can remove it from the aquarium. Secondly, you will need to house biological filters media, which where we will culture bacteria in there, and they are supposed to remove organic waste from the aquarium. Actually, they're supposed to remove ammonia from the tank. So ammonia can't be filtered by your sponge. So the only way to remove them efficiently in the aquarium is by using the bacteria. The bacteria will eat away the ammonia and convert it to something safer like nitrate. And finally, you're going to have chemical filtrations. That can be anything. Most of the time it's carbon. Sometimes people will use some phosphate remover, silicate remover, or lately there's a more new type of chemical filter like the C-Chem Purgen or the Continuum Aquatics Power Cleanse that I have over here. So now that I have 2 layers of mechanical filter, one will be used as a pre-filter that block larger debris before they get into the final one to block all the final debris on the tank, and then the water should pass through my biological filter. This is a high quality filter media by C-Chem. It came with tidal, so which is good. They are supposed to be able to house more bacteria than any other conventional competitive biomedia. And that doesn't leave much space in the filter box over here, but luckily the Continuum Power Cleanse itself, it doesn't need much of that. I will only need like maybe a spoon would be more than enough for this size of aquarium. Which bring me to another point, is that this might not be suitable for you if you are going to start up a small aquarium, because this whole bottle will be quite expensive if you're going to only use a spoon of it, because this is actually reusable. So a spoon might last you for 2 years, and you can have a lot of unused one over here. So it might be a bit of waste for. So in that case, you might want to use a conventional carbon instead. But if you have if it doesn't have space for carbon in here, because carbon you will need more of it, maybe you can just forget about the white cotton and have carbon instead. So the net that I bring back for the power cleanse is not fine enough. When I wash it, some of it will go through the net. So I'm using those socks over here, which work way better than the net. So we can power it up right now actually. There you go. Then we can actually increase the flow a bit. Alright, just maybe less than half of the power is more than enough for this aquarium over here. So we'll place the cover back. So this is non-see-through filter, but good thing is that they have a clog indicator over here. So if the water is clogged up and the water can't flow through, it will raise the water level, and then this thing will float up, letting you know that you should clean your filter. So with that done, we're now supposed to add in anti-coring. The first thing that you would want to put inside there is anti-coring. This is the one. I'm going to using Continuum Aquatics fractions. 5 ml of this, one cap is good enough for 200 liters, so it's a bit difficult. I only have like 70 liters, divided by 200 times 5. I only need 0.4 ml, great. Okay, I forgot to bring back my syringe, which means it's gonna be hard for me to measure that little constant dosage. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Most likely I'm gonna be dosing too much. Yeah, that's too much. But it's okay. There's nothing in the tank, so it's okay to overdose. And we let run for a while. And now we're gonna introduce the bacteria. This is Continuum Aquatics Bacterigen F. You should put 5 ml for every 100 liter daily for 2 weeks. So great. When we running the aquarium, try to change the water daily to clean up the water. Actually, we also run the biome system in that tank as well. This is like 1 ml, which is also difficult to measure. I'm just gonna eyeball it. It's okay to it's quite okay to like overdose the bacteria. You just waste them. Okay, I guess that's 1 ml. Okay, that's it. We're gonna let it run. One note, important note. As you can see, the aquarium water is actually quite clear. This is a very good soil, the sea chem stratum. Sorry, not sea chem. My God, it's full stratum. Sorry, I got all mixed up. It's getting 12 AM now, and I haven't showered yet. Please forgive me. It's full stratum. Like I said, it's very good quality soil. Even though I haven't changed the water yet, the water is like totally clean. There's a bit of cat hair inside, cat fur inside there, else everything is fine. Yeah, that's it for today. And we'll see you again. Bye. Oh yeah, forgot. Since that the soil is so clean, there's no need for me to have the Claron, the water clarifier that I was planning to use, but I guess now it's point is to have this. Yep, that's it.